Hello and welcome to another session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through class. Let's go ahead and come on up to our feet. All right, we're going to start with our spinal cord breathing. Bring your feet underneath the hips, toes pointing straight ahead. You're going to bring your arms up and around, forearms and palms together. Tuck your chest down, tuck your hips under, and now on the inhale, we're going to lift it open. So breathe in nice and deep. Lift the chest, divide the arms, bring the shoulders back and down as you peer up towards the ceiling. Engage the glutes to not overarch the back. And then on the exhale, you're gonna cave it back down, trying to curl up like a little ball, blow the air out of the lungs. And that's the rhythm. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Just about 3 more. Try to pause at the top and the bottom of each breath. Some movement through the lower body as well, tucking those hips under, pulling the belly button in. One more time, breathe deep, open, lift the chest, peer up. And last time, blow that air out of the lungs. On the exhale, go to release the arms down, walk the feet in. Next, we're going to go into a little bit of a lunge series. So that helps to come down to the floor first. If you need a yoga block or anything else to support, otherwise follow along with me. We're going to be mirroring each other. So you're going to go your left foot forward. I'm on my right. Chest nice and tall. You can either keep your arms at the sides or reach them up to overhead. We're going to lower that back knee down to the ground, keeping the front heel planted, shin vertical, chest nice and tall. Coming down controlled. Fantastic. From here, release those arms for a moment. Going to stand nice and tall, or excuse me, lunge nice and tall. Keep that heel planted. We're going to breathe in, reach up, lifting through the chest. And now ever so slightly, you're going to shift the back hip forward, firing the glute on that trail leg. And you just want to keep adjusting that front foot, kind of on the edge here, want to inch it forward so that knee's not diving forward. So back and forward, opening the hip flexors, lifting through the chest. And on this next one, we're going to add a rotation. So you're going to rotate your body towards your lead leg. Backing out of it, go 2 more of those. Sinking in, fire that glute on the right, and turn and looking over that left shoulder. One more time. Shift back. Shift forward, firing that glute, lift the chest as you rotate. And go ahead and shake it out. Fantastic. Either stay down on the ground and switch, or driving that front heel, come on up. And same thing other side. Opposite foot steps back, coming up to overhead and lowering down with control. Gradually bringing that back knee down, gripping the toes and keeping the heel of the front foot planted. Good. Rest those arms for a moment. Standing or lunging here nice and tall. Breathe in, reach up, lift up out of those hips. And we're going to start by finding the glute of that trail leg, checking in with our stance, seeing how long that lunge is, and starting to open up the hip flexors of that trail leg. Good. On the next one, add the rotation. So you'll sink into that back hip, and now we'll rotate towards your right. 3 times there. Sink back, lift, sink in, and turn. 1 more. Breathe in and exhale as you sink into it, coming into that rotation. Fantastic. Shake that out. Stay down, switch sides, or come on up, and going back to that first side. Coming down with control. Very nice. From here, we're going to add a tricep stretch into it. So your right arm of the trail leg, reaching that arm up. Make sure these ribs are tucked down here. Pull that chin in, lengthen through your head and neck. And we're going to reach up, grab the elbow. So we'll still keep giving some attention to that hip flexor, that trail leg. Shifting the hip forward, squeezing the glute. And now we're going to add a side bend to it. Bending to the side. About 3 to 5 times here. Lengthen. You'll tend to lose that forward posture of the head. So really exaggerate. Tall chest. Good. Breathe in. And exhale, taking it to the side. Good. 1 to 2 more. And shake out those arms. Fantastic. From here, you're going to go your left elbow on the inside of the left knee. Go ahead and slide down the shin. You want to hover by the instep of that front foot. And if this is uncomfortable for you, you can use a block here. Support your body up on a block or a pillow. Otherwise, come down as far as you're comfortable. And we're just inviting this outer left hip to open. So spend just a little time here. Very good. And then when you're ready, we're going to add some rotational movements through the upper body. So you're going to take your right hand, reach it underneath that lead leg. And you can still use the block here if it helps you. And then lift up out of that bottom shoulder, rotate, peer to that outside arm. We're going to do that 3 times. Walk the hand under, see how far you can reach first, and then slide it out, rotate away, follow with your gaze. Once more, walking it under, and rotating away. Very good. We're going to do the same thing with the opposite arm. So now we take your left arm, walk it underneath that right arm, and then lifting up out of that bottom shoulder, follow the left hand with the gaze 3 times here. Crawl the hand under, lifting up, rotate. Take your time in that fully rotated position. That's where you really get the most benefit out of that movement. Opening through that side body, kind of get like a spiral line to open through your torso. And relax. Very good. From here, you're going to start to kneel back or lean back. So you extend that front leg, kind of moving into a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. Nice and tall. And again, a great place to use the blocks as needed. Just be nice and gentle, sitting tall, bowing forward, and look to pull those toes back. And then from here, we're going to square the hips. We're going to come forward into pigeon pose. So square the hips and shoulders best you can. As you lower down into this, make sure you stay engaged. Don't just drop down. So stay nice and smooth. You want to invite that outer left hip to open. You can either hold static or gently rock side to side. Using your intuition, what feels good on your body. And then when you're ready, you can swing the back leg around, going into a seated twist, sitting nice and tall. Hug that leg into the chest. Good. Pulling the chin in, shoulders back. And then you can either stay here if you'd like to work a little bit deeper into that twist. Sitting tall, start to walk your right hand around and turn the gaze, looking to peer over your right shoulder as far as you can. As you peer at those eyes, the head and neck will follow. Let's take one more breath here. And release. Come on out. All right, we're going to go all the way back to the lunge, and you're going to have this right leg on your body. That's going to be your leg that you'll have forward. So coming on back up. So your right leg forward, left leg back, reaching up, slowly coming on down, lightly lowering that kneecap down to your mat. Very good. And remember, we're going to go into those tricep side bends here. So reaching that left arm up, keeping the ribs down, bend the elbow, pull the chin in to lengthen through the head and neck. Starting with just a regular tricep stretch, pulling the elbow back. Then we'll add the shift of the back hip and a little side bend. About 3 to 5 times there, rocking it back. Shifting forward, squeeze the glute and gently take it to the side. Front heel firmly planted. To grip those toes down, activate the arch of that foot. Activating the arch is going to support the ankle, and then it works the way up the chain, supports the knee, supports the hip into the low back. All right, from here, in step. Elbow on the inside of the knee, slide down, grab your block as needed. You just support here on the block. If you don't have a block at home, a pillow works well, even like a textbook or something. And just spend a little time here opening up that outer hip. I feel a little bit into my low back on this side. Typically, you're going to feel it wherever your body is holding the most tension. All right, fantastic. And then when you're ready, we'll go into the reach backs. Let's start with the right arm, walking it underneath your left arm as far as you can reach, and then you'll lift up through that shoulder of the support arm as you rotate back. Good, 3 times. So if I was using the block, I'd have my block up here, reaching under, lifting up, and rotate. The nice thing about the blocks is that you can turn them on whatever side you need to get the most support. So you have different heights that you can utilize. Third time here, and then we'll switch arms. All right, now we're gonna go your left arm, crawl those fingers underneath the right leg. Lifting up, rotate back, turning with the gaze. Good, 2 more there. Taking your time in that open position. Lift up, rotate, peer over that shoulder. Last time, walking the hand under, up, back, and relax. Very good, making our way into that hamstring stretch. So gradually rocking your weight back, extending the front leg, sitting up nice and tall as you bow forward. If it's super intense, if you're shaking here, back out of it. You could have blocks or pillows underneath both hands here. We're not going to spend a long time here, just inviting the hamstring to lengthen a bit before we head into pigeon. So here we go, making your way forward. Square the hips and shoulders best you can. Extending that back leg, and then control how far you just drop into that hip. So stay engaged. Sometimes just dropping into our joints, not using the muscles to control the stretch, can cause some damage or some irritation to the joint capsules. All right, just a couple more breaths here. Shoulder blades back and down. And when you're ready, rocking onto that hip, swinging that back leg around for seated twist. Sit tall, hug it in. And this seated spinal twist, we want to think about the whole spine. So I'm sitting tall up out of the sit bones, thinking about positioning the shoulders back and down, lengthening through the neck and pulling that chin in to just try to really get a nice twist. Holding that good posture. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, take the left hand, start to crawl those fingers behind you as you turn the head, peering over that left shoulder. Turn those eyes, see how far you can peer in that direction. Couple more breaths here. Last one. And relax. Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and grab a little bit of water, and then we're going to make our way onto the floor for our first series. We're going to be doing some Turkish sit-ups. If you've never done these before, I recommend either watching the first round or just pretending that you have weight in your hand. Especially if you have any kind of shoulder instability, any histories of injury of the shoulders, you just want to be smart in warming this up. But we're going to do a little bit more warm up for those shoulders before we jump into it. Child's position first, toes together, divide those knees, reach the arms out, rock the hips back, lower the head down. Now send your breath into where you feel the tension. So for me, it's the lateral aspect of my right shoulder and torso area. And a little bit right between the shoulder blades. Couple more breaths. And release, coming on up. Very good. From here, we're going to get a little bit more rotation through the mid-back. So place your fingers nice and wide. Grip the hands down. Go ahead and take one hand behind the head. You're going to lift up out of the downside shoulder as you bring the elbow to the opposite elbow. Rotate and peer up towards the ceiling. Let's go between 5 and 8. I want you to pause in that open position for 1 to 2 seconds. Breathe in as you close. Exhale as you take it into that rotation. Good. Couple more. Very nice. In between arms, we're going to take it into down dog. So place the hands nice and wide. Turn the toes under. Drive those hips up high. Try to lengthen through the back of your body as you open up that mid-back, gently pulsing the head between the arms. And then let's get a good stretch those calves. Go ahead and lower your right heel down. Hold it there for a moment. And when you're ready, same thing other side. Lower the left side down. Hold that for a few breaths. And then from there, go ahead and pedal them back and forth, looking for any tension. Change the position of the feet if you'd like. Walk them in, walk them out. Very good. And then when you're ready, let's come on back down. We're going to go same thing, opposite side of the body, those quadruped rotations. So wide hand print, grip the hand down, hand behind the head, elbow to the opposite elbow, lift up out of that downside shoulder and turn your eyes, peering up towards the ceiling or the sky if you get to be outside today. Weather's a little bit cooler here in Colorado on this spring day, so keeping it indoors. Good, we're going 5 to 8 here, holding 1 to 2 seconds in that open position. Breathe in as you close, exhale as you lift and open. Couple more. And release. All right, fantastic. So we're going to make our way, starting with that Turkish sit-up. Again, if you're not familiar, anything going on with the shoulder, either no weight at all, or you could even sub doing a single arm overhead press while we're doing these Turkish get-ups. Otherwise, we're going to start with the weight on your left side of the body. And I'm going to, or just pretend you have the weight on your left side of the body, and I'm going to talk us through it. So with the weight on your left side, you're going to bend your left foot. Bring the heel up and a little bit to the outside. Right hand's going to be about 30 degrees to 45 degrees out from your torso, pushing up and watching this hand the whole time. You're going to drive through your left heel, roll it across to the right elbow, and then you're going to come up to the hand on that side. So this could be the finish position. If you want a little bit more challenge, you can add a glute bridge where you push through the hand and the leg, come up kind of like that wild thing position in the yoga, bringing it down and then bringing it back. I'm not a yoga person per se, so that might not be the right wording. Rolling it across, lifting up. You have like a nice straight line from hand to hand and from the left foot to the right hand. Very good. Couple more. Roll it across, up, hip bridge if you choose, and taking it down. Last one. Up, lift if you'd like, and down and switch. All right, as we switch sides, bring it down to the chest. And now we're going to switch legs, bending in your right leg, extending your left. And here we go, right arm straight up. So I'm going to take my left hand, it's going to be out to the side about 30 degrees. And notice I have this heel kind of out to the outside best I can. I'm going to drive into that heel to give some momentum to come across. And then this hand straight out. I think I did something wrong. And hips from here. Sitting back, rolling back. Sometimes when you think about something too much, roll across and lift up from there. Very good. Down and back. Try to find a good angle here so you guys can see. Over to the elbow, up to the palm. And this is where people will make the mistake of they'll slide the hand back, and then it's not a good position to have that bridge. So from the foot to the hip to the opposite hand should be a nice straight line. Up from there and down. Good. We'll go 1 to 2 more. Back, crossed, up, lift, and last one. All right, fantastic. From there, we're going to go into some hollow body or some tuck up work. So either knees bent or straight. I'm going to start with them bent. And extend my arms up to overhead. And we're going to spend a minute working on this. If you know the hollow body, feel free to go into it. If not, I'm going to give you some little progressions here. So we're going to start with the feet flat on the ground, knees bent. What I'm doing is I'm just working on the upper body, like a hollow tuck up of the upper body here. I have my arms nice and long. Thinking about lifting up, rounding that body, pulling my belly button down and in. And now if I'd like, I can add the legs with the knees bent. I'm going to lift the arms and lift the legs, looking to, as it's called, hollow the body, which means I'm kind of making a boat with my body, and that low back is pushing flat to the floor. Chin in, down and relax, lifting up. Good, about 10 more seconds. Breathe. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right, let's take a little breather. Grab a quick drink, and we're gonna do that 2 more times. Back to the Turkish sit-ups. So stay conservative again, unless you're confident with the movement, then hey, challenge yourself however you choose. We're gonna start in 10 seconds with the weight on your left side. So with the weight on the left, I'm gonna bend the left leg, pulling that heel close to the glute, got the right leg, right hand ready. Here we go, rolling across, lifting through the hand. You either stay right here and take it down, or again, if you'd like to add that glute bridge, coming up on that single arm support, single leg, so nice long line of force. Keeping your eye on that weight, coming down, rolling back. Very good. Halfway through, we're going a full minute here. I tend to move around while I'm doing these. Feel my body somehow kind of inches back on the mat. All right, 1 to 2 more. We've got 15 seconds. Not a movement that you necessarily want to rush. Oops. Make sure you have a secure carpet underneath your hand. Last one. Hips high. If you choose that hip bridge and all the way back. Very good. Bringing it down. I'm going to swing it around. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So now we're onto your right side of the body, which means we're going to bend the right knee, bring that right foot close to the outer hip. Use both weights to bring the hands, bring the weight up. And 2, 1, here we go. Push that right heel, coming across the elbow, up to the hand. Adding that bridge. So once I get into the motion, the hand and the foot, they don't really change positions. I mean, I might kind of inch them around just a little bit, but for the most part, they're there in their spots. Good. Halfway through. And if you're coming up and it starts to come down, instead of trying to save it, just grab it with the other hand and guide it down. This Turkish sit-up is the first portion of what's called a Turkish Get Up, where you come all the way up to standing. You move it through a lunging position. 10 seconds left. Maybe one more solid rep. Push, sit, crossed, lift, and down. Whew. Very good. All right, hollow body next. You can also, if your upper body, anything going on with your neck, if it feels like a little bit of a strain to do the upper body lift, you can also focus on the lower body. 2, 1, here we go. So for the lower body, I can start with just a tuck up, pulling that low back flat to the ground and really focusing to keep the hips rolled back, not letting that back roll forward as I bring the feet down. Up, lift the hips, engaging here as I lower. So if I had a little whoopee cushion under my low back, ideally we'd be pushing the air out of the whoopee cushion as we lower the legs down, and ideally the whole time through, holding that tension. So you can go from bent legs, if that's feeling like you've got a good handle on that. You can want to go to straight legs. On the straight legs, I just want to be smart. I only want to take it all the way down if I can do so without that low back coming up into an arch. So I can see I'm really working here to keep it flat. Continue to breathe. You can point the toes if you'd like. Good, 10 seconds. Almost there. And rest. Fantastic. Just take a little moment here, rock the legs side to side, a little 2-knee twist. And then we're going to go through that series one more time. One more round of those Turkish get-ups. We're getting ready for a little bit more intense piece coming up next with some thrusters. Woohoo. All right. So let's grab the weight, starting with it back in your left hand. Which means we're going to bend that left foot. Place that right hand, then 2, 1. Here we go. Pushing up, keeping your eye on your object. The heavier it gets, the more deliberate and controlled you want to be, because this exercise really works the stability. It's a midline exercise, obviously shoulders. When you do the full get up particularly, it really gets into the legs as well. You have that lunging strength to get up off the ground. Halfway through. And sometimes you'll notice that foot of the left foot tends to kind of start to creep away. So continue to pull it back and in, because that's where you're getting your initial leverage. Drive into that heel, rolling across your body. Good, almost there. Whoops. So what happens when you take the eye off the weight? Start to lose it. Woo. And all the way back. Good. Bring it down and rest. Swing it around. You're going to switch sides. So now you're moving it to your right hand, which means you're going to bend your right leg. Left hand comes out to the side. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Taking it across. Push. Lift. Really making a point to lift up out of that downside shoulder if you're coming to that bridge. Fantastic. You can probably see how this could be challenging without any weight as well. Just making a fist there, moving your body through this movement is a challenge in and of itself. It's like an advanced sit-up, Turkish sit-up. 20 seconds left. Whew. And maybe one more. Push, keep breathing, lift, and taking it back. Bringing it down. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Taking it right into that hollow. So feel free to do any of the first 2 progressions or all the way through. 2, 1, here we go. So the full hollow, legs and arms extended. If it feels like too much with both legs extended, you can start to kind of go like a bicycle. 1 bent, 1 extended. Really focus on that low back, pulling it into the floor. If you have that head lifted, chin tucked in, so we don't want to extend that neck. And anytime you need a little break, come on down. Woo, 30 seconds in, and halfway there. Come back up when you're ready. Good breathing. Get sure you're not letting that low back start to arch, so continue to pull it in. Whew, 10 seconds rest, taking another break. And finishing nice and solid. 5 seconds. 2, 1, rest. Oh, that's a hard position for me. All right, from there, let's just roll it over onto your stomachs. And we're gonna take it into a little press up. So you're gonna go hands beneath the shoulders, chin in, engage your glutes as you lift up. Pull the shoulders back and down, peering up towards the ceiling. So we'll go up and down a few times here. Ensuring you don't experience any kind of pinching sensation in that low back. Really key to stay long through that low back as you lift up and wake up the glutes. Fire the bum. Good. From those press ups, we're going to go into some scorpions. So you're going to bring the arms out to the side. One leg up, engage the glute as you bring it across the body. And then same thing other side. Lift the leg, fire the glute on that side. That's going to help protect your low back so that you engage the glute and don't just extend or overextend into your low back. It's going to go between 3 and 5 on each side. You can also use it to open up your chest at the same time. So as I'm rolling my body to the right side, I can walk those right fingers long and help to open the chest. Good. A few more each way. I'll walk the left hand out, turn. And let's go about one more time each way. Very good. Last one. Awesome. All right. Making your way up, I'm going to drop into a little modified child's position. Then coming back into downward dog. And then we'll kind of inchworm our way, walking the feet to the hands, walking the hands to the feet, and coming on back up. Getting our bearings again. Woo. little while on the floor there. Okay, so this next piece is pretty quick. Gonna get the heart rate up. We're gonna warm up some squatting and then we'll get into it. So let's start with a little quad stretch. So either find somewhere to balance or practice your balance for the movement. Placing that foot down, lifting everything up, grabbing one foot, pulling that heel back. Ooh. Bearings here. Good, standing tall. And go ahead and switch. Place that one down, lifting up, grab that opposite foot. So what we're prepping for here is 4 rounds, 45 seconds of a thruster, that's a full squat into an overhead press, 15 seconds rest, into 45 seconds of just blood flow is what I wrote. So that means if you have an exercise bike you want to jump on and do a little bit of biking, if you have a jump rope, you want to do a little skipping of the rope, wide base stance, open up those inner thighs next. Or I think I'm going to do a farmer's march today. Might go every other round, some jumping jacks, running high knees. Just kind of want to give my calves a little bit of a break today. I might march a little bit the first round. It's going to be another 45 seconds of the blood flow. So I'll kind of tell you every 15 seconds, make some suggestions if you're doing something different. Alrighty, next let's warm up some squats. Place those feet about hip width apart, slight toe out. Reach the arms out as you drop the hips back. Heels firmly planted, knees driving wide. Good, push through your feet to stand. So really key here that you're not coming off those heels. Protect your knees, keep the weight back on the heels. But notice as I sit back, I'm not lifting those toes up. So you want to still grip the toes, activate the arch of the foot. Fantastic. All right, grab a quick drink. If you're not familiar with the thruster, it's a full squat, reaching up to overhead. If you've got anything going on that you can't reach up to overhead, if you have anything going on that you can't squat all the way down, you can do just the squat or just the overhead press if that's better for your body. All right, let's get it started. Grab your weights, set your feet. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Lowering down, driving up. Making sure I'm not going to punch the ceiling here. I'm close. First of 4 rounds, and these thrusters, they will drive up your heart rate. So make sure that you just pace yourself on this first round. My goal for you is always to either be able to hold a similar pace throughout the whole circuit, or even to pace yourself such that you can get a little faster as we go. That's 30 seconds. Faster or heavier with a similar cadence. Breathing in, breathing out. It's probably going to get a higher heart rate before we're said and done, most definitely. And rest and rotate. All right, like I mentioned, I'm going to do a farmer's march in the first round, grabbing a little bit heavier weights. Shoulders back and down. And here's our blood flow. 45 seconds. You can also jumping jack, like I mentioned, if you want to spin on a stationary bike, dance. Hopefully you've got some good music playing on your end of the computer screen today. If you're joining me for this march, shoulders back, chest broad. It's only 45 seconds, feels like a long time. That's 20 seconds done. Go running high knees as well. Mix it up with some skipping, some jump jacks, that's 30 seconds. Eyes up, chest up. And it's going to be a short break here into round 2 and rest. Good job. Getting a breather. We're going to go back to it in 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, back to thrusters. Controlling down, driving up. Round 2 of 4. And if you feel like maybe you could use a little extra rest in between exercises, I recommend working for 30 seconds, and rest for 30 seconds. That's where we started with a lot of these classes. We're about a year into doing this now, actually a little bit more than a year. So we've been progressing for those that have been with us for a while. That's 30 seconds. But if you're just getting started, or if you've taken a little hiatus, it's better to start with less is more in the beginning, so you don't just come and get super sore. 2, 1, transition. This round, I'm gonna do a little bit different blood flow, so feel free if you wanna join along with me, and change it up every 15 seconds. Starting with a jumping jack. There you go. You can always do a step jack as well. Nice. Try to have some fun with exercise. A lot of times we turn it into punishment for ourselves. Good. And now we're going to skip, or you can march. Second 15 seconds. So if you have a history of having a negative association with exercise, you got to recreate it. Try to turn it into your playtime. And let's go some lateral steps. Maybe not the crossover right away. You want to just start with like a little lateral hop. Woo. There you go. Nice and light on the feet. And there's our rest break. All right, if you want to sneak in a quick drink. And if you don't quite feel ready to start when we do, if you're on the recording, that's easy. Press pause. Otherwise, just join us when you're ready. 2, 1, and here we go. Set 3. Keeping the eyes up. Check in with those thoughts. When you're into set 3 of 4, that's where it can get mentally really tough. Because maybe you're ready for it to be almost done. And you're like, oh, I'm just over halfway. So the body and the mind can get a little grumbly about that. So it's our job to control the mindset. 30 seconds done. Stay positive, stay present. Focus on just doing one more rep. Over and over again. And rest. Woo. All right. Back to the blood flow. Getting a little breather. And we're going to start with those side steps this time. If you want to go over into a crossover, you can. Good. That's it. Stand light on your feet. Step it over, step it back. First 15 seconds. Let's go skipping. If you want a little bit less heart rate, march. That's 30 seconds. 30 seconds till we start that final round. Let's finish it out with jump jacks. So if you want longer rest, rest now. And there's our 45. All right, final round coming up in 10 seconds. We all done in less than 2 minutes. Final set of thrusters. Place those feet. 2, 1, here we go. If you feel like you're hitting a wall, set the weights down and just do some air squats. Don't feel like it has to be weighted. See if you can just move your body. Your first 15 done. 30 seconds left. Try to keep your face relaxed, breathing smooth. That's 30 seconds. Great job if you rest there. Otherwise, 10 seconds left. Let's finish strong. 2, 1, and final rotation. Whew. All right. Whenever you're ready to start, I'm gonna take it right into it. We're gonna go a full minute on this last little bit of movement. Those thrusters have me winded. How's everybody else doing? All right, let's skip. Skip our march. Get that chest up. Get those shoulders back and down. Smile. Tell your brain, we're doing great. We're almost done. All right, hand jumping jacks to finish. 20 seconds left. Good. Generate some energy. Slap the hands, slap the thighs. Thank your body for being able to do this. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Done. Woo, all right. Walk it out. Grab some water. All right, if you've had enough at this point, I recommend doing some of the cool down stretches as similar to some of the warm-up stretches we did. You do those quads, child's position, the upper body stretch. Otherwise, join me for some upper body strength training here to finish it out. We're gonna work some accessory muscles. So I'm using 5-pound weights. Recommend being nice and light. You can even use like a TheraBand for this first one, or any of these actually. I'm gonna show it with a band the first time, just for fun. Because the band is gonna be the least likely to cause any irritation. If you go too heavy, it's easy to kind of tweak a shoulder or something. So midline strong. We're gonna bow forward, bring the hands together, and you're gonna divide it, pull it apart. Obviously, the tighter you make the band, the harder it will be. We're going 8 to 12 here. The shoulders down out of your ears. Chin pulled in, strong in the midline. Good. From there, let's see if you can do this one with the band. We're going to step it on one foot, alternating single arm front raise. So I raise it up, and then the other arm up. You can also hold dumbbells, 8 to 12 here. Each arm. Good. Midline nice and tight. No arch in the back. Curl and press is next. 11, 12, 12. All right. I don't have the best band for the curl and press, but I could do it with the band elbow in, curling to the shoulder, and I press up to overhead. Elbow forward, down, in, and drive. I'm going to use dumbbells for this one though. Again, 8 to 12. And we're going to do this 2 to 3 times. Curl it in, push it up. And I like to do a little bit of like the Arnold press, where I have palms towards me and I turn the palms away. Forward and down, curl in, press. Good. Elbows into the sides as you push up. A few more. And we'll go back to those bent over lateral raises. Grab a little drink of water before we run into that. Okay, I'm gonna go 2 more. You know me well enough, I'm not the best counter, especially when I'm talking to someone. Talking to you all here. All right, let's grab a little drink and we'll roll into set 2. All right, remember to keep it light unless you're experienced with it. And then I trust you know your body. Toes pointing straight ahead, midline pulled in, bowing forward, chin in, and driving straight out. Eight to 12. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Good. From the bent over lateral raise to the alternating front raise. I have a little bend in the knees. Tall chest. Staying engaged to the midline. There we go. 8 to 12 each arm. Working that shoulder definition. Building a little bit of strength in that upper body. Watch so you're not pushing your head forward here. So keeping the chin pulled in. Fantastic. All right, curl and presses next. Come down again. You can stay standing if you prefer. This can also be done seated or kneeling in drive. We're gonna go through one more round after this. Then we'll do a couple cool down stretches to finish. Nice. And if your overhead press is tired, you can do just the curl. That works too. You don't have to do more pressing overhead. You tend to get really stiff in the neck and shoulders, maybe eliminating some of the overhead work you do or just being smart about how many reps you do can oftentimes help. You especially want to be conservative as you build into volume in the upper body if you have history of some chronic tension. Okay, one more. All right. One more drink of water before we go into that last and final round. Okay, here we go. Final set, bend over lateral raises. Try these 8s this time. Midline strong as you bow it forward. Try to control the down. Keep that chin neutral. Whew. All right, when you finish those, alternating front raises. You can try not to hyperextend the knees. Still trying to control it down just a little bit. Nice. All right, I'm gonna get a couple more each arm. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try a little heavier for the curl and press. That will probably quickly limit the reps, but hey, that's okay. Who knows? All righty. Staying tight. Good job. Watch not to arch the back. I feel myself wanting to swing too, so staying tight as you curl. I'm gonna go for 2 more. Nice work, good overhead reach. Last one on my end. Fantastic. All righty. Go ahead and finish out what you're working on if you haven't already. And then let's meet up for a little cool down stretch. Nice work today. Good session. Alrighty, let's visit child's position again. Start with a side stretch this time for child's position. So instead of coming straight back, we're gonna walk your hands over to your right side. Take your left hand, reach it nice and long. Let's move some of this stuff. All right, so walk those hands over to the left, reach that left hand nice and long, and drop on down. I said the wrong side of the mat, but the right side of the body, or the correct side of the body. It's Friday. Not that that means anything. Say that if it's Monday too, don't we? Humans are funny, including myself. And come on up. Let's see if I can get it correct this time. Walk your hands to your left side of the mat. Take your right hand, reach it long, and drop back from there. What can we do when we mess up besides just laugh at yourself? Try not to take it too seriously. Especially if it's something as trivial as saying the wrong side of the mat or the wrong side of the body. Maybe unless you're doing like surgery on somebody or something. All right, let's revisit those mid-back rotations to help open us up before we finish today. You can either stay up on the palms like we did in the warm-up, or if you want to come a little bit deeper into the rotation, come down to the forearms. From here, hand behind the head, elbow to the elbow, lifting up, rotate, peer over that shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out, in. Upwards of 10 here. Remember to follow the elbow with your gaze. I'm gonna go a couple more. Very good. Same thing, opposite side. Hand behind the head, upwards of 10. Take a moment to pause in that open position. Peer with your eyes over that elbow. Try to keep your hips as square as you can as you rotate. It's all part of it. A couple more here. Fantastic. From here, let's take it in a down dog. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Turn those toes under. Send those hips high. And lengthen. Really drive through those palms. Looking down at your belly. Back between the knees. Kind of tuck that chin in. And then walk out those heels. Pedal them out down to side to side. Fantastic. Go ahead and come on down to the knees and onto your side. We're going to go into a quad stretch next. Just a couple more. Grab that top foot, pull it back. Lengthen out the quads. You can comfortably get that heel towards the glute. That's our goal. You can start to drive it straight back. Just gentle stretches, not forcing anything in the body. And 2, 1, let's shake it out and spin it around. Same thing, other side. Grabbing that top leg, pulling it straight back. We'll go about 20 seconds here. And I'll do one more little finisher on our backs. Those tricep side bends we did down in the lunging position as part of warm-up. You could do that just standing. You don't have to always be down in a lunge for it. Go ahead and shake out that leg, come onto your back. But that'd be another good one today or tomorrow if you notice some stiffness. All right, let's go ahead and hug those legs in, and then your choice here, working those elbows on the inside of the knee, grabbing the outside, the shins, the ankles. If you can reach the soles of your feet for a little happy baby, rocking the body side to side here. Use those elbows to drive the legs out. Opens up the inner thighs. Nice little gentle release for the low back. And just for the mind, right? Just to breathe, close your eyes, pretend you're like that little baby in the crib that doesn't have any concerns that we end up bringing onto ourselves once we get into this adult world. All right, from there, feel free to just kind of chill out on your back for a little while. If you like that plow position, if you want to bring the legs up and over your body to give a little bit deeper stretch to the spine, feel free, make that decision for your body. Otherwise, thanks for showing up, moving, hopefully having some fun, and we hope to see you next time. Stay hydrated, stay happy.